What is going on, everyone? I almost started muted again, and then I realised I still had the music up way too loud and hadn't turned it down yet. And now I'm just going to turn the music off completely. So I've got a stream deck now, so I was playing with that, got in the picture up, and then I realised I hadn't unmuted myself, and I didn't have a button to do that, and I didn't have a button to get rid of Spotify. So. Good start. Good start. Hopefully Game Week 20 is a little bit better than that start on the stream. But hey, at least I'm not muted, right? In fact, because I got the music muted, I can put something else on. I can put something on no one wants to listen to, but only I can. What will that be? I don't know. This will do. Do. Turn that up a bit. You don't care about this. We're supposed to be talking about FPL, aren't we? Okay, Game Week 20. I've not done my transfer yet. I'm not really... trying to hold suspense. It's almost certainly going to be De Bruyne to Gundogan. I know Gundogan's such a boring pick. I even tweeted a few weeks ago that everyone was going to talk about him and not actually bring him in, and now I'm bringing him in. Foden is definitely someone that would interest me, but I think Gundogan's minutes are probably going to be better. And he did get a rest, so in the FA Cup. So I'm pretty much going to go for him. Just get that out there now. I'm not trying to hold the suspense. I just haven't actually done it yet. So here is the team as it stands. Oh, my days. Get that. I need to update those subscribers. I'm going to do that soon. Foden is more exciting. Yes, he is more exciting, but I think there's chances less likely to play. Overall, I've seen a leaked team which says that Foden is starting. I don't know what the source is. I'm not really trusting it. I'm not saying it's wrong, but I obviously don't know the source myself. And obviously it's not just this game. There's also a few other games after this that I'd want my player to play, and I think Gundogan's going to be involved in all of them. But obviously creativity-wise, maybe they do need Foden, and maybe he'll keep playing. I don't know. I do think Foden all minutes equal is the better option, but I don't know. I'm going to go Gundogan. Gundogan's a bit cheaper as well. Corey, how's it going? Protecting the rank with Gundogan. It's nothing to do with protecting rank. I haven't thought about that at all, to be completely honest. It's just a move for a Man City player, right? I'd much happier be not getting Gundogan and getting to keep De Bruyne, but it is what it is. I just don't want to be dealing with Foden longer term. You have a good bench. Doesn't mean that Foden won't come on, though, and just get a 1 or 2 pointer. He's done that plenty of times. I just feel like Gundogan's guaranteed start. He's on penalties. Easy as that. He isn't going to be my captain at all anyway. I'm not going to captain Foden either. Captains are going to be Fernandes, Salah and Kane over the next 5 weeks. Keep it simple. Gundogan in. Job done. Tom, how is it going? Already done Vardy and Masuaki to Cancelo and Antonio. Nice. Benching De Bruyne and Sal for Son next week. Nice. Should I take another hit for Souček to Foden Gundogan? I don't. I mean, could Foden and Gundogan outscore Souček by more than 4 points this week? Absolutely, they could. So if you want them long term, it's not the worst time to do it against West Brom, to be honest. Most of the times I wouldn't do it, but if you want to go for it, go for it. Treat it in isolation. Is Foden and Gundogan better than Souček for a -4? Do you think they can outscore him by 4 points this week? We're not tempted by City triple up. Not really, because one, that takes me 2 moves to get to it. So I'd have to take out De Bruyne to someone else, Son maybe, and then use another transfer to go triple City, or do it next week. And also that means when I do want to get De Bruyne back, because if Man City have got good fixtures and he's fit, De Bruyne is the one I want. Then it takes another transfer to get rid of the City player. I mean, obviously it probably is going to take an extra transfer anyway, because I'd have to get the money back. But if I put triple City defence and I don't go for a placeholder that's really expensive, then I've got to get the money from somewhere and get rid of the third City defender and then get De Bruyne in. It's too many transfers for someone without a wild card, so I'm not going to do it. And I'm pretty much going to go Kane instead of Son as well, which I can come on to in a little bit, I think. Where is that there? George, Wilson to Kane for a -4 this week, or wait to do it for free? Wilson against Leeds, I'd probably just wait. I just a lot of people are taking hits for Kane and Son. They're playing Liverpool. I just don't fancy it myself. Yeah, look, Gundogan is one of those moves which is just boring. It's not that exciting. It's not really a move you ever wanted to make. But things change in FPL. I'll just do it. I don't feel like this is a week to I've tried to think of differentials I could go for. Even if I went for Rashford, who might not even play, I can't do that because I've got 3 Man United players already. I don't fancy a punt on Maddison or Barnes, to be completely honest. And it would be easier not to go to Gundogan if Man City's next 3 fixtures weren't Sheffield United, Burnley, and West Brom. And there's not too much risk in Gundogan because he's so cheap anyway. So I'm doing it. That's what I'll be doing. And I'm playing Chris Wood over Souček as well, which not many people have mentioned. I think I'm going to do that. I'm also playing David De Gea ahead of Martinez. So I've got double Man United defence. I could split the risk and go Man United Villa, but I'm just going to take the chance that Martinez concedes, hopefully to Chris Wood, and that David De Gea is a player that not many people have got. So double Man United defence is a bit of a differential. And against Sheffield United, I don't think that's too bad. Don't get me wrong, I don't know how long I want double Man United for, but I think that's what I'm going to do. I don't think there's a huge amount in David De Gea against Sheffield United or Martinez against Burnley. If Martinez was at home, I'd probably think of it a little bit different maybe. I know you can argue there's no such thing as home and away anymore, but that's basically why I'm doing that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Why not Sofal over Woods? I think a defender really has to have a massive upside to play him over an attacker. I think Sofal's fine. He could get a clean sheet, could get an attacking return, but it's not like a Chilwell or a Robertson or a Trent in their prime or Alonso or Baines or someone like that. Like Souček's fine, but he's not do everything to play him. I'd rather just play the attacker, I think, and Chris Wood. I don't know. I mean, trust me, I've watched Burnley because I've owned Chris Wood and it's not been fun at all. And I might avoid that game because I've got no other Villa players playing as well. But yeah. James Rodriguez punt. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, there's a few punts that you could go for that I guess I'm already being affected by the wild card because I don't have a wild card to fix stuff. So going for like 2 or 3 week punts is probably not what I want to do right now because there is a double game week to prepare for. So if I go James Rodriguez or Barnes or Maddison, then I'm stuck with them for a while without using another transfer to take them out. And the fixtures are good, but James Rodriguez is a bit injury prone. I'd rather go for Calvert-Lewin, to be honest, if I'm taking a punt on Everton. But as always, as with everything in this stream, this is just my opinion. I am not always right. Absolutely not always right in any stretch or any stretch of the imagination. So if you want to do something different, you absolutely should. Corey, welcome to the Absolute Tier again. I think you were already on that, weren't you? Alex, thank you. Let me see what I've missed here. Samudra, good to see you. Should I play so far Reece James in a back four that already has DS, Stones and Robertson? Yeah, a few people asked this in the Patreon chat. I'd still play Reece James, I think. I don't think Sofal's got a massively better chance of a clean sheet, and Reece James is, I just prefer him as in an attacking sense, so I'd probably play Reece James. Differential captains, Antonio, Bamford, Foden. Or to be honest, Antonio, Bamford and any Man City player will be a differential this week because Bruno Fernandes' effective ownership will be massive because of De Bruyne. I wouldn't go Spurs or Liverpool, even different. I don't think it's that exciting. I think Antonio, Bamford, just quickly off the top of my head anyway, and any Man City player. I was telling you, you bring in Gundogan, you bring in Foden, you captain them. That is massively different in itself. And West Brom are awful. If you watched the captaincy video earlier, West Brom are so much worse than any other team in the league, pretty much. So far, Robert Souček, pick 2. A lot of people thinking about benching Robertson. Are Liverpool that bad? I'd probably bench so far if it's me. Nihao, De Bruyne to Son done. Vardy to Antonio -4. Adams on the bench. I guess you're asking whether to do that -4. Again, I'd possibly just play Adams and bench Vardy and do it for free. I think with any transfers where you're thinking about taking -4s or could just... The thing is, you're not going to want to bring Antonio in next week because he's got Liverpool. It's a tough one because... You could just delay the -4, but if you've got other transfers you want to make, sometimes it's worth just doing now. So I'm not against it if you want Antonio long term, but I think playing Adams is something you could do. Damien, 118 points in game 1, overall rank up to, I guess that's 19, overall rank up to 250. Still have all chips left. Should 10k be my goal for the year, or is that too ambitious? Definitely not too ambitious. Definitely achievable. Top 10k is difficult these days because so many people are active and playing, but you can still do it for sure from that position. Start 2, Robertson, Dallas, Sofal, Rodrigo, Souček. A lot of people looking to bench Rodrigo. I would definitely play him. And probably Souček, I'd bench the other 3. But you can't bench the other 3 because they're all defenders. So that doesn't work, surely. You have to at least play one of them. So I would play Rodrigo and Souček, definitely. One to bench from Maddison, Rashford, Son, Kane, and one to bench. Oof, that's horrible decision. One of Son or Kane. Probably, I couldn't bench Son or Kane though. I think I'd bench Maddison and put him first sub. He'd come on for Rashford if he doesn't play. When to play the second wildcard, have a decent side. Honestly, if you've not already wildcarded, I would strongly recommend either wait until just before the double game week or just after. I don't think using it now. So 24, 25. But you need to wait until we see the fixtures because your team might not need a wildcard before the double and might need one afterwards. It's impossible to say right now when is the best time. Cavani or Martial. I think for this week I'd go Martial. I find it hard to believe he won't start, but long term they might share minutes. Watkins, Souček, Dallas or Reece James. I'd probably start an attacker and probably Watkins over Souček. You're on a wildcard. Should I wildcard with Rashford and do Rashford Son next week and hope that Rashford starts? Or should I just I would definitely just wildcard with Son. It saves you a transfer. Who knows what you might need to do next week? There's no guarantee that Rashford plays. I just did team news with David over on Scout, and he thinks Rashford will start. And he made some good points, to be honest. He could start, but I just don't think it's worth the transfer personally. Upgrade, thank you, Albas. Play Wilson or Sofal? Wilson, he's playing Leeds. Take a hit and bring in Maguire for Dyer in order to bench both. I wouldn't take a hit to bench Wilson, playing one of the worst defences in the league. George, I have Souček, Reece James and Chandler's on the bench. Worth bringing any of them in for Sofal or Dallas? I mean, it's personal preference. I'd play Reece James over both of them probably, and probably Che Adams over both. But it's just personal preference, isn't it? I'd always prefer to play the attackers, and I think Reece. I don't know. I know Chelsea, people aren't liking Chelsea right now, but I think the fixtures are still good. I think they're still a good team. Obviously, no Lampard. Maybe that'll affect things, but it's impossible to say how much, right? Who really knows, you know? John Stone's essential. Not sure about that. I'm the only one who is not feeding the Spurs fixtures very mixed. I've been saying this for ages, at least a couple of weeks, and people keep telling me Spurs can score against anyone. I disagree. The only reason I'm kind of pulling the Son or the Kane transfer forward is because of De Bruyne. So I have the money and I might as well. Like De Bruyne was going to be my captain this week and probably next, but now it's going to be Kane next week. So things changed. I agree that they're mixed. I'm not really too bothered about doubling up right now. That'll change when we get to West Brom or the double game for sure. Playing Antonio, Bamford and Watkins. Up front. Fernandes, what's the question? I have Chilwell and Robertson, so benching them. Oof. Dias Cancelo, Target. Yeah, I guess you could bench him because Target's got Burnley, and Burnley scoring. I mean, I've got Chris Wood. I'm not massively confident. I'd potentially play Chilwell over Target, but I don't think there's too much other stuff you could change there. To be honest, you've just got such a good squad. What do you think if I captain Dallas, expecting a clean sheet and attack and return? If you think that's going to happen, go for it. I mean, what more can I say? If you think he's going to get a clean sheet and attack and return, then that's probably 3 bonus points. That's 12 points plus. Otherwise, I don't really like defensive captains because as soon as they lose their clean sheet, it's kind of game over. But if you think he's going to get one, go for it. Souček to Grealish, Cresswell to Luka Dean for a -8. Cresswell out for a -4. He's playing Crystal Palace. Surely not. Souček to Grealish, -4, maybe. Grealish is playing Burnley though. It's going to be tough to get past them. Bench Chilwell, Dallas. I don't get me wrong. I do think Dallas. Like a lot of people own Dallas. Right. I've been asked this question so many times today, even before this stream, about benching Dallas, and I get why people want to play him because it's Newcastle. I still think Chilwell's a better option. Captain Salah, Gundogan, Watkins, or Antonio. Oof. No Fernandes. I like it. I mean, you could go a bit different and go Gundogan or Antonio. I wouldn't captain Watkins, I don't think. I mean, Salah's always a good bet, but it is Spurs, and they've been playing pretty well defensively, you know. I wouldn't expect Liverpool to score a huge amount of goals there. I guess if you go and look at models and stuff, they'll tell you to captain Salah. He's probably the safest bet, but Gundogan against West Brom, Antonio against Crystal Palace, I think I prefer them as outside shots. I'd possibly go for Antonio, to be honest. It depends how well you think Palace are going to defend. on their day, they can defend quite well. Gundogan's playing West Brom. As I said in the captain video earlier, they're just ridiculously bad. Do I hold Vardy to get Kane and Son next week without a hit? I'm happy to play Rafinha and Dallas this week, but I could be priced out if I wait. Well, you've kind of summed it up yourself. You take the risk and you wait, and you might be priced out, in which case you might have to take a hit anyway to fund it. So you could do it like that. If you've got a way to fund it, maybe you just wait, hope that you don't have the price rise, and if you do, you've got a way to fund it for a hit, which you would have taken anyway. I think playing Rafinha and Dallas this week is not not bad at all. Mr. Fade, thank you very much. Sam Farquhar. Conundrum, got Martinez and Fabianski so far, and Souček need 2 to start. Best risk avoider. I wouldn't worry about the risk. I think Martinez got a better fixture than Fabianski, just about, and I'd play Souček, I think. Which one should I bench? Foden, Gundogan, Salah, Son, Fernandes, Kane, Antonio, Bamford. That's ridiculous bench. That's a ridiculous question. How can you bench any of those players? I don't know who I would bench. I would probably bench one of the... Can I really say to bench one of Spurs' players? I wouldn't want to bench Bamford, Antonio, Fernandes, Salah, Gundogan or Foden this week. I wouldn't want to put Son on the bench. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Man, that is tough. I think you maybe spread the risk and just bench one of Spurs or Man City. But Man City got such a better fixture. I'd maybe bench a Spurs player, but I would not like it at all. I mean, I guess if you want to play a bit safer, you could just bench someone like Antonio or Bamford. Or, I mean, to be honest, safety-wise, Gundogan and Foden are probably going to have lower ownership, but I don't know. Maybe Son. Yeah, bench boost. If you've got a bench boost, go for it. Depends on what else you got as well. Maddison, Bruno. Should I play 3-4-3 with Bamford and take one out? Oh, my days. Hang on. Madison, Bruno. Okay. Should I play 3-4-3 with Bamford and take out one of the Leicester players or just keep? I mean, your team looks fine. I don't see why you change it. Alex, thank you for Danky. I've been debating all day. I can't figure out Sterling and Barnes or Foden and Rashford. Probably Sterling and Barnes, only because I don't know if Rashford's definitely going to play this week. Martinez or Mendy in goal, same price now. Long term, I prefer Martinez for sure. I'd rather just get a Chelsea defender if you want to kind of look at the Chelsea defence, to be honest. Cancelo captain next 3 weeks, thoughts barring injury. Same as always with captaincy options. Look, they're pretty much guaranteed clean sheets against all 3 of the next teams, you'd say. They probably won't necessarily keep 3 clean sheets, but they're odds on to do it. Will he start all 3 games? Hard to say. Will he get his attack and returns? He's due, but will he get them? Who knows? So I don't like defender captaincies, but right now, with the next 3 fixtures, a Man City defender is probably not the worst idea. Why not switch De Bruyne to Sterling over Gundogan? I just think recent numbers, Gundogan should look as good as Sterling, to be honest, getting in the box, taking shots. And also he saves a lot of money. It lets me get Kane in next week. Triple City defence 3 game weeks. Yeah, nothing against it at all. If it works out for your strategy and stuff. Best Abraham transfer out. Would you not keep him? Would you not keep him? I mean, if you've got 11.6, I'd maybe look at just getting Kane, to be honest. That's probably where I would go. If you want to go cheap, then Watkins or Calvert-Lewin. Rodrigo or Bowen, bench Dallas and Bowen, I reckon. Turn De Bruyne to triple Man City defence, bit of differential. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people will talk about doing it, but I don't think as many would do it as you think. So it definitely differential, that is. Who should I play between Diaz, Stones, Cresswell, Target, Dallas? I honestly, my advice would be to make the questions a bit simpler. Surely, if you've listed your whole team, you must know some of the players you already want to play. You can't honestly be saying, who should I play, Target or Kane? Right? I assume so. Anyway. So I don't know how many players of those you need to bench, really. But there must be some players you definitely don't want to bench. Surely you're not benching Kane or Bamford against Newcastle, Cresswell against Palace. So probably targeting Dallas, I would say. Yeah, I don't mean simpler, but I mean, like, there's no point in listing a bunch of players you're never going to bench, you know? So Souček, I'm benching Souček ahead of Saka, so Yeah, and then Gundogan captaincy punt. I kind of already talked about that. It's a punt. His numbers are quite good. How will he play without De Bruyne? How will City play without De Bruyne? It's all these things to consider. But if you want to take a punt, there's definitely worse ones this week. Should you keep a good bench even if bench who's played? I covered this on the preview video. I would say having a playing bench is still good, but I don't think you necessarily need to spend as much money as you would do on a bench boost, for example. De Gea or Meslier? I'd definitely play De Gea. Which three from these 6 to play? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Southampton, Arsenal. I would probably play Ings, Watkins, Maddison, and bench the rest, I think. Best replacement for Abraham. Again, same question as before. It depends on the money. Kane or Watkins or Calvert-Lewin, I would say. Look at those. I can't promote Foden. Decent potential, but far from nailed. Yeah, absolutely. Rohit, thank you. What do you think of Bamford as a punt for captain this week? Yeah, again, there's a lot of what do you think. Like, again, I said this on the captaincy video. I think I mentioned Bamford. I think outside of the main players this week, I think Leeds versus Newcastle, Antonio versus Palace. I didn't actually mention Antonio on the captaincy video, but I should have done. And any Man City player is going to be a differential this week. So I think Leeds have got a good chance of putting a lot past Newcastle, and Bamford's at the forefront of that. It just depends whether you're going for punt for the sake of it, really. And thanks for your content. Don't forget your fan team. I've definitely forgotten about that, and I own De Bruyne, so I'll have a quick look in a sec. Bench 3 again. Look, at this point, like, honestly, yeah, I think people should really stop asking questions where they're listing the whole team with, like, you've put Fernandes in there, bench 3. Who's benching Fernandes? What are the 3 you're actually looking between that you don't know who to bench? That would be my advice for these questions, honestly. Worth trading Vardy for Jesus. The thing is, you don't know if Jesus is definitely going to start. Rather, I definitely prefer Antonio. Like Jesus, just the thing is, you don't know if Jesus is going to play, and sorry, what am I trying to say? And he's also not been playing well when he has played, so I'm not a big fan of him. Bench Thiago Silva or Socha? I think I'd bench Thiago Silva. I know I said I'd like to play James and Chilwell, but they offer some attacking threat. Thiago Silva doesn't really. So play, what is it? Play Maddison and Barnes with Bamford sub, or take out Maddison or Barnes to play Bamford. I'd play Bamford ahead of Maddison, probably. Your transplants for the next 2 to 3 game weeks, probably going to bring in Kane next week. Maybe Grealish for a hit, I'll see. I'll worry about it next week at this point. Kyle Walker-Peters for Cancelo and start 4 defenders, or start Adams. If that's for a hit, I would just start Adams. If it's not, it's quite a good move, I think. De Bruyne is so far out for either Sterling, Chilwell, or Salah and Stones. Triple Man City defence, thoughts? I mean, that's obviously, you can only decide if you want the triple defence. I would look at captaincy, because Salah's a pretty good captain in Game Week 22, I think. The thing with Sterling is, he's not looked great. His numbers aren't great, but you know what he's like. He can do really well. You know, he has been explosive before. He has scored plenty of FPL points. He does get loads of chances, but it hasn't happened recently. It doesn't mean it never will. But I think he is a punt at this point. Like, Salah and Stones is probably safer than Sterling and Chilwell. So it depends how risky you want to take it, I suppose. There's only 38 minutes of the deadline. Make sure you get transfers and stuff locked in, by the way. I haven't done mine yet, but I am going to do De Bruyne to Gundogan almost certainly, as I said at the start of the stream. Cavani or Salah? I mean, if you've got Cavani, you'd want to start him, but I don't like benching Salah. It's a bit risky. There's no guarantee that Cavani starts, so I think for safety, I'd probably start Salah, but I wouldn't like having Cavani on the bench either. Sterling and Gundogan, can I replace Trent with Cancelo from -4? You can if you want, yeah. I don't know if it's worth it, though. I mean, it depends. If you think Spurs score, maybe. I mean, Trent hasn't been getting too many attacking returns, has he? But I don't know. I mean, if Cancelo's ever going to repay that hit straight away, it's against West Brom. So you can. It's up to you. Leno or Meslier to start. Southampton away or Newcastle away. I'd probably start Meslier. He's always good for saves, if no clean sheet. Why Wan-Bissaka? I'm not sure, because Luke Shaw was on 4 yellows. But Luke Shaw does look. The thing is, Luke Shaw is first choice, but I still don't know if I'm completely sure he's going to start every single week. Whereas Wan-Bissaka pretty much will. But ultimately, I don't want a Man United defender anyway. Taylor, team looks good. Yeah, Madison and Calvert-Lewin on the bench. Oh, geez, you got so many people who've got such good squads. That's the problem with everyone going for Man City defenders instead of Liverpool. Too much money to burn. So you've got great squads and really good benches. That looks solid. Roberts Cancelo -4. Same as the Trent question just a minute ago, which I just answered. I would bench Dallas. I think Robert and Trent exactly the same. You could take him out for a Man City player for -4. It might pay back, but could Liverpool get a clean sheet against Spurs? I don't think it's completely out of the world to kind of expect that could happen. Souček, Watkins, Sofar, and Robertson. I'd bench Sofar, I think. I don't usually like benching attackers. It's just me. I think Robertson and Trent have still got enough upside to play them. Calvert-Lewin or Harvey Barnes? Probably Calvert-Lewin. I wouldn't necessarily want to bench Barnes. How's it going? Razak. I can only start 2 of Wilson, Dallas, Sofar, Justin. Can Newcastle turn it around? Debatable. Everton could be stronger. Zaha puts me off so far. Yeah, Wilson and Dallas are the 2 I'd probably start. Wilson and Sofal probably. And bench Dallas, Justin. Pick one, Cresswell, Barnes, Antonio. Come on. That's not even a question, is it? Dallas or Robertson, who should I start? I'd probably start Robertson. Mane out for Sterling. Diaz or Stones? Diaz if you can afford it. Mane out for Sterling. If you want a bit of a punt, I guess. Mane's not absolutely essential. I'd possibly keep Mane. But then maybe you just wait until that Brighton game where Sterling's got 3 good games. Yeah, I don't think it's a bad transfer if you fancy Sterling. Bench Souček or Trent? I don't know, I bench Trent, but it doesn't feel right, does it? It doesn't feel right benching Trent for Souček. You've got Robertson starting, so I guess you're kind of having the risk a bit. Would I play Souček versus Trent? Again, it's having those cheap Man City players. Yeah, I think I probably would, but it's horrible. It's a horrible decision. Grealish out for a hit? No, definitely not. Captain Rafinha, good luck. I don't think Grealish out for a hit is worth it, to be honest. Start Tierney or Souček. Tierney might not even be fit, just as a heads up. Souček I'd probably start either way. Should I play Souček for an Vardy or Vardy for -4? Who in that case? I mean, there's loads of options you could go for. Antonio, Bamford, Kane, Watkins. It depends who you've already got. Calvert-Lewin. But if you want to wait till next week to make the decision, playing Souček's not the worst idea. Thoughts on Antonio captain? I like it as a differential. I think Crystal Palace have not really been keeping too many clean sheets, even with Mitchell in the side. And Antonio's still getting up to speed. So I think his minutes could be managed if they get ahead. But if they get ahead, he's going to be him scoring. So I like it, but Crystal Palace away is not necessarily my go-to fixture for a captain. Which 2 to bench between ESR, Smith Rowe, Sofar and Souček? 2 to bench. I'd probably bench Sofar and Smith Rowe. Hold Loughton or downgrade to Mitchell as a long term. I mean, do you need to make the downgrade now? If not, I would just keep him, do it later on. If you don't need the money, don't worry about it. Souček or Saka to Grealish or Son? So the thing is, it depends on your strategy. If you have to play them week in, week out, to be honest, I'd probably keep Souček either way. Saka's fixtures aren't as good, although I do think he is the better option if all things were equal, like fixtures and minutes and stuff. Also, Souček's a bit cheaper for most people, so you save a bit of money if they're just going to be bench fodder. So I'd probably keep Souček over Saka for now. Should I get Rashford in for De Bruyne this week and then Rafinha out for Son? Yeah, the only thing is with Rashford is he did have that knock. Solskjaer's kind of said he's fine and he's available, but there's obviously no guarantee start, so there's some risk with it. Not a massive risk, but some risk. Salah and Bruce are in for Wilson and Saka next week -4. Let's wait till next week, but it sounds like an okay transfer if Bruce is just a bench option. Should I free hit to get out De Bruyne and Vardy? It feels like a waste of a free hit just to worry about 2 players. Just use transfers. Pick 2, Justin Adams, so far, Dallas, Souček. Adams and Souček, I think. Average defense consistent. By plan on playing only 3 at the back, who should I bench? Justin, I think that's easy enough for me. Haven't United played 19 games resetting Maguire? Yes, but I'm not going to go and use a transfer to do Wan-Bissaka to Shaw or Maguire, that's for sure. But yeah, they have now, so it would it doesn't reset, it just goes up to 10. De Bruyne to Maddison, Declan Rice to Gundogan, and Zuma to Maguire from -8 with Bruno captain, good or bad. I mean, effectively, you're getting out 3 players who either aren't going to play or are rubbish, like in Declan Rice. So as -8s go, I don't think it's that bad. debatable on which players to bring in, but if you want those 3 players, go for it. Like mine, it depends. Obviously, if you've got other players you can play instead, it maybe change the conversation. But overall, you're taking out 1 bad player in Rice and two players that aren't going to probably play. We don't know about Zuma. Obviously, when the new manager comes in, maybe he'll be back in favour. We don't know that right now. Foden or Fernandes for captain. I mean, Foden for the punt, Fernandes for the safety. To the bench, Dallas targets Souček and Wilson. Not Wilson, probably not Souček either, so probably the defenders. Souček or Neto. Probably play Souček in that one. Dallas also foul. Start 2 from Saka. Wood and Souček, I'd say. No, Wood and Saka probably. Calvert-Lewin, Robertson, De Bruyne to Antonio, Stones, Gundogan. I don't know about the Calvert-Lewin move. I'd maybe just do the other 2 moves. You don't need the money from Calvert-Lewin. He's got 2 good fixtures after this week. Depends how much you want. And so, the thing is, Antonio's got Palace and Liverpool. Calvert-Lewin has Leicester and Newcastle, I think, or Leeds. And then it's Newcastle or Leeds, the other one. So probably just keep him. Kane, Antonio plus De Bruyne, Gundogan, or keep Kane for next game week. If you're on about getting rid of Kane, why would you get rid of Kane? I don't think that's a good move necessarily. Cole Peters and De Bruyne to Gundogan and Stones. Yeah, looks good to me. Kane next week, perfect. Bench Salah for Calvert-Lewin. Oh, bench Salah. You can't be benching Salah. That's absolute. Whoa, my mic's falling over. That's absolute madness, benching Salah. But people have got crazy benches right now, haven't they? I should make my move, shouldn't I? I need to double check on Twitter to see if there's anything I've missed. But I think, let me see. I think a lot of people are talking about Foden or Gundogan. I think I'm just gonna do Gundogan. So I'm just seeing if there's any updated news or not. Yeah, I don't see anything. I'm just going to make the transfer now. No point in delaying this any longer. De Bruyne out. Gundogan, it's not even on the first page of midfielders. Even Neto is. And Ward-Prowse. Gundogan, where are you? I've got to find you in the Man City list. Oh, you can't even see what I'm talking about. I've got to pay an extra 0.1 million. Didn't do the transfer last night. Absolute nightmare. Boom. There we go. I've now got 3 players worth 5.5 million or less in my team. So Gundogan, Saka, and Souček on the bench. It's absolutely ridiculous. And now I have £8.8 million in the bank. That is my team. Vice captain Gundogan. I'm going to vice captain Gundogan. He's got penalties. Why not? Potentially, Antonio, Bamford, Wood, Salah, Fernandes, and Gundogan are all on penalties. Imagine if they all got a penalty this week. It'd be amazing. 8.8 million in the bank. The transfer is made. Maybe I should have held the suspense a bit longer, but I thought I would get it done. What a weird team that is. Who, like Saka, Wan-Bissaka, De Gea, Gundogan, Wood. It's just, honestly, considering I'm just wildcarded, I feel like that team looks awful. But the way things are, Spurs are playing Liverpool. I can't get another Man City attacker. De Bruyne is injured. What else? Chelsea. I mean, Werner. Come on, let's see how he plays first of all. Spurs playing Liverpool. Villa playing Burnley. So I don't really want to take a hit for Grealish either. I think if I take a hit, I might do it next week. I'll have a think. I might do a hit next week and do Wood in for Kane, and maybe Saka to Grealish, or I could do Saka to Son, and do Wood to Calvert-Lewin instead, and just keep the money down up front. But I think I want to captain Kane. But that is what a weird team. Game week 20 is not as fun as game week 19, that's for sure. So yeah. There we go. It's done. It's done and dusted. Worth taking a hit to bring in Maddison for Souček? I don't think so, personally. Maybe if you think he's that good, but I don't fancy Maddison at all. Lots of people do, though, so I'm the wrong person to be asking. Although I appreciate your watching, so you want to ask me. But I just not... Maybe you need a you need to ask someone who's a fan of Maddison more. Should I bench Rashford for Reece James considering he might be rested? Nah, I'd probably just play Rashford and hope for the best. Play Adams, Souček or Justin Adams. You said you were benching Wood in your preview. I did, yeah. Changed my mind. I mean, it's Wood versus Souček. I don't think Souček is so good that Wood should be benched, you know? Like, Wood's got more attacking threat even for Burnley than Souček. I haven't been that impressed with either of them, to be honest, in the double game week. I know Wood's playing Villa. It's the only thing that puts me off, but I'm just going for it. I'm just going for it. Look, put it this way. I don't want to be playing the likes of Souček, Saka and Wood for too much longer. But this week, I think this week I'm just going to get through it. And next week I might take a hit. I'm up for taking a hit this week, but I can't see one that I particularly like, to be completely honest. So I'm not going to do it. I'm just not going to do it. Who goes for a hit? You want to attack Man City? I wouldn't take any of those players out for a Man City player, to be honest. If you have to, take out one of the Leeds boys or Grealish, but not for me. Cancelo for Robertson -4. I've already talked about this quite a bit. Like, yes, you could do it, but Robertson, it could quite easily backfire this week. If it's ever going to pay off, I guess Man City against West Brom, sure, but you know the risk with taking -4s. Bench Adams was so foul. Bench so foul. De Bruyne out for Man City mid or Grealish long term. I mean, I guess I've made the choice literally on screen just then. I've gone for Man City mid, so that would have to be my answer. But I would maybe want Grealish anyway. ESL so far, Dallas bench 1. Dallas. De Bruyne to Foden for a -4. I mean, you could just play Smith Rowe or so foul or Dallas, sorry. But yeah, long term if you want Foden, -4 is not bad. Can't tempt you with a Souček to Grealish for a hit. No, I don't think so. It'll be Saka to Grealish, I think. So I want to keep Souček because he's cheaper. No, I have thought about it. The other reason I don't want to do Grealish is I'm not 100% sure if I want Kane or Son next week. So that's where I'm going to go. De Bruyne and Souček out for Salah and Gundogan from -4. That looks pretty tasty, to be honest. Quite like that. Has anyone wildcard and copied your team exactly? Possibly. Be a bit weird if they did, but some people probably have. Big mistake. I mean, that must be so boring if you do that. But anyway, let's not get into it now. Gundogan, Son, Fernandes, Foden, nice. Souček or Cresswell? Souček. I know a lot of people probably want to play their way. This is the thing when you've got a strong team. You've got to make decisions you don't want to make, like benching West Ham defenders this week. I've wildcard. Who's best for long term? Maddison and Grealish versus Son and Saka. I don't like Saka necessarily long term, so probably Maddison and Grealish, but I think you'll want to find a way to. I think you'll want to find a way to get Son in at some point, probably. Do. Oh yeah, I forget you can't hear the music, can you? I'd start Rafinha. I've wildcard. Who's best? Oh yeah, I've done that one. Oh, it's about to get laggy up in here. As if it wasn't already. There's 23 minutes until the deadline. Make sure you get your teams locked in, your capsule locked in. Please do give the stream a like if you're enjoying it, by the way, as well. Hit that subscribe button. We're on over 600 likes, 7,000 watching. Let's get that up to 1,000 likes before the end of the stream. And just a quick shout out as well. Oh, I can do this with my stream deck. Big shout out to everyone that's signed up for Patreon, patreon.com/Let's Talk FPL. Link to that in the description if you want to join up as well. Everyone that does goes up on the Legends wall, Slack access, WhatsApp access, all that good stuff. And a big shout out to Sean who has signed up literally since I did the captaincy video earlier, I think, as well. So thank you very much for signing up. And if you want to check it out, link in that description below. Did you not consider Son? And yeah, I'm not getting him because he's playing Liverpool, basically. I'll look at it next week. Calvert-Lewin and Bamford, Cavani. For a wild card, I wouldn't go Cavani. I think there's too much worry over his minutes, to be honest, and how often he's going to start. I do think he's possibly going to start more often than I thought he was a couple of weeks ago, but I'm not the biggest fan. Best 4.3 to 4.5 million mid. Smith Rowe's potentially now an issue just because they've got that new guy coming in. Is it Odegaard or some? I'm not pronounced that right, but you know who I mean. So Anguissa possibly or Besuma are slightly better. But for now, Smith Rowe starting, he looks great, to be honest, as a bench fodder. Target Sofal, Socek, bench 1, probably Sofal. Maddison in for Saka. I think it's not a bad week to play Saka as long as he plays in a forward position, because Southampton are probably going to be without either fullback. But Arsenal could be definitely without Aubameyang. They could be without Tierney. I'd probably just keep Saka for this week. I'd take out Bednarak, I think. Bonner not in the back. Who could I get if anyone? Would you not just keep Bonner against Crystal Palace? Bench McGoldrick versus United, or Bednarak versus... I'd probably bench Bednarak. Bench will start Rashford. I'd start him. Bench Son or Grealish. I'd probably bench Grealish. Wouldn't be happy about it. Bamford captain. Go for it if you want to. You know the risks. Keep saying that. Who do I bench? Justin so far? Dallas? Justin for me, probably. I think if I had Dallas and Justin, I'd probably... I mean, Justin's done so well recently, but I probably would get rid of him. Mohamed has a go. And if you have 2 free chances, would you get Grealish for Saka, or would you still do it next week? Good question. I might just do it, but I'd want to be... Yeah, I'd possibly just do it. One of the reasons it's kind of put me off a little bit is I have worked away to get Kane and Son, but it means no Grealish. Well, I could have... Like, if I get Kane... Look, I'll show you quickly. So next week I can do Wood to Kane. And that leaves me 3.8 in the bank. Now, I can't go straight up to Son, but I'm not far off. And I'm not saying I would do all this next week, but I'd only need to save 0.6 million. Realistically, it's probably going to be more like 0.7, 0.8 by the time Game Week 23 comes around, and I'm actually looking to bring Son in. But that's a Wan-Bissaka downgrade. Potentially, or David De Gea straight down to a 4 million goalkeeper and just keep Martinez. So I have got a way to have Kane and Son and Salah and Fernandes. So that's in the back of my mind, and I'm not quite sure if I want to go without Grealish though. I might just get Grealish in and then worry about Son later on, because the chances are Villa will have a double game week in 26, but Spurs games will probably be better. So it's tough. I don't know yet, and I'm not so sure that I want to make the move this week. Bruce is De Bruyne out for Gundogan, Antonio for a hit. I like it. Do you think West Ham will keep a clean sheet? I think they've got a good chance of doing it. I don't think that means you necessarily have to play West Ham defenders over everything else, but yeah, not bad. Leo drinking a Red Bull to stay away. Leo is Patreon who fell asleep before a deadline. I think had wildcard active or something like that, or didn't wildcard. I can't remember the exact story, but yeah. Glad you're awake this time for the deadline. Thoughts on Sterling captaining him over Bruno? Yeah, I like the idea of captaining Man City players against that West Brom side, but there's obviously a bit of a kind of hit and hope situation, as in we don't know how they're going to play without De Bruyne. But what we do know is West Brom are not a good defence, and Sterling will almost certainly play. So I really don't think it's that bad a move. But obviously, again, you know the risks are Bruno's going to be heavily captained. And if he goes mad and Sterling blanks, then that's going to hurt. But it's not really the way to play. If you think that Sterling's going to beat Bruno for points, go for him. Bench Saka or Wilson. I really wouldn't be... I know Newcastle have been really bad, but I don't think I'd be benching players against Leeds, not like Wilson. I'll probably just start him, to be honest. Leicester midfielders. I'm not going for Leicester midfielders, but a lot of people like Maddison and Barnes. I prefer Barnes out of the two. But that is... Again, that's just me. My chat, I think, is frozen, which is not good. Which one starts, says Mark? So far, Robertson or Rafinha? I'd probably start Rafinha. Mr. Toolshaw, thanks very much. Love your channel. Oh, my chat has just gone nuts. Like, it's just completely stopped, and now it's like, it's going mad. Corey, should I do De Bruyne and Socek out for Gundogan and Trossard? I want a Brighton player, as I'm a Brighton fan. There you go then. You've already answered it yourself. If you want Trossard, go for it. It's over that on more pay, isn't it? Mr. Toolshaw, thank you very much for that. Love your channel. You might go to keep it up. Legend. I think every single player on your bench will outscore Wood. Can we bet a Let's Talk FPL mug on it? I think every single player on your bench will outscore Wood. Potentially, yeah. Potentially, you could be right. Chris Wood has been pretty bad. But I don't have a mug to bet you, so we'll just you can just take the pride in that could happen, yeah. On a wildcard start 2, Saka, Socek, Justin regular. On a wildcard start 2, probably both midfielders, Saka and Socek. second Sojek. Justin, if you have to include the defender. Pick 2, Pulisic, Rafinha, so far Watkins. For this week, Pulisic and Rafinha, I think. Start Wood, Sojek or so far. I mean, answers on the screen. Grealish for Madison, Grealish. Would you take Zuma out for -4 for Stones and Diaz? Maybe if I didn't have another defender I could play, but I don't think it's absolutely a necessity. PM Mad, how do you rate Adams' chance of a return against Arsenal? I'm currently starting Dallas over him. I think, obviously, Adams in the league has gone for a bit of a dry spell, but I think Southampton will give Arsenal a pretty good game. I don't think Arsenal will be as poor as they were in the FA Cup. I would probably start Adams. I'd probably start the attacker. But I've said this quite a lot right, in this stream. A lot of people, if they take what I've said, are going to bench Dallas. Right, obviously there is a risk. He's playing Newcastle. Newcastle are not good in attack necessarily, especially. They haven't been good in attack. Although it is Leeds, they do give up chances, and we know Dallas is good going forward. So I'm not saying that Dallas is an easy bench, but people have got such good squads. They're going to have to bench someone they don't want to, right? So in most weeks I would want to play Dallas against Newcastle, but if I had Adams, I'd probably start him instead. Which two should I start? De Gea, I mean, it's not two, surely. It's not two out of those. I mean, I would start De Gea. And then, is it one out of the rest? I'd probably start Sojek. Watkins to Bamford for a hit. I wouldn't do that, I don't think. Pia, thank you. Got Gundogan in for De Bruyne, Rashford to Bruno for -4. If you want to captain Bruno, what better time to do that? -4. Because I think Fernandes is a good long-term pick. Don't you think Neto is better than Gundogan? He's only 0.3 more and is low-owned. Not necessarily. Not if Gundogan keeps playing as he has been, getting into the box and taking shots. Like, I'm not getting Gundogan thinking that he's like as good as De Bruyne, and I know there's some risk that maybe he plays a slightly different role without De Bruyne. Like, we just don't know, do we? So there's an element of pump, but I don't really fancy Wolves too much right now. And so I think I would just go Gundogan. I need to double check my my fan team. De Bruyne. I need to take De Bruyne out, but who for? Think about this. Who have I taken him out for? I've taken him out for Gundogan. I might go a bit different in fan team. I might go for Sterling. It's raining outside. I might go for Sterling in fan team because why the hell not? Foden. I'm going for Sterling and I'm going to captain him because I'm far behind. 200 grand. Let's try and get the win, I guess. Obviously, if Bruno smashes him, though, that's going to look really stupid, but why not? Or maybe I should captain Cancelo. I'll vice-captain Cancelo. There we go. That's my fan team done. I haven't answered the question about Pogba, not in this stream. To be fair, like in terms of if you look at things like shots in the box, he is kind of increasing his volume of shots in the box and stuff like that over Fernandes, to be honest. I still feel like he's one of those players that you're always looking for a goal from outside the box mostly. Did have that really good chance against Liverpool, should have put it away. So I do think he's looking a better option than he probably was a few weeks ago. I still don't necessarily like him as an FPL option, though, that much. Man United's fixtures are not bad. Like Everton and Southampton coming up are okay, but I just think there's better picks than Pogba. I don't know. I don't know. Not a fan of him for FPL. I think he's been playing well, but I think you're just... Oh, I hope that wasn't too loud. Waiting for an assist or a shot from outside the box. He has scored a few, but you can't keep that up, I'd say. I'd play Rafinha over Rodrigo. He's probably going to get more minutes, and he's a midfielder. Salah and Gundogan or Madison and Salah and Gundogan, I think. Salah and Gundogan. So far, Dallas on for CSR. Or stick with CSR. I guess that's ESR. I'd probably just play him. Charles, thank you very much. Glad you're enjoying it. To the bench, Dallas target so far, DCL Rafinha. I mean, so far in Dallas. The amount of times I've said about benching so far in Dallas, they're definitely getting clean sheets. Wilson up front or Dallas in defence. I'd go for Wilson. Madison or Barnes. Sojek to Gundogan for -4 and so far to the bench. I wouldn't necessarily take a -4 to bench so far, to be honest. Pogba versus Cavani. I mean, Pogba, I think, is assured more minutes at the moment. The thing is, I just don't know if Cavani's going to start. That's the main problem. So I would pick Pogba, but I wouldn't want either, really. Gundogan, Foden or Zaha to bring in for De Bruyne. I would definitely go for a City, but I think Gundogan's a bit of a safer pick, maybe on penalties. Foden's a bit more exciting, but maybe chance of more reduced minutes probably. James, thank you. -8 Foden, DS and Greenish. I prefer Grealish over Maddison. I must have said that a million times this week. Wait until Maddison outscores Grealish. Play Wilson or Cresswell. I'd probably play Wilson. Explanation with the girl at the rock show. See if you can guess what I'm listening to. She said what? Actually, a top 3K team with 8 million in the bag. It's mad, isn't it? It's honestly mad. I think Souček's going to do well. He could do, yeah. Look, Chris Wood. I don't like Chris Wood, but just for this week, I'm going to play him one more time. I don't know. Me waiting, and if I ever got another chance. Aston Villa clean sheet versus Burnley. Well, the thing is, if I was putting my money on, I probably would put it on a Villa clean sheet. So maybe I should bench Wood, play Souček, bench De Gea, play Martinez. But Burnley at home, could they nick something? Possibly. Will Antonio start? Almost certainly. I'd be very surprised if he doesn't. Who else would they play right now until they buy a new striker? 10 minutes until the deadline. Make sure to get your captaincy locked in, your transfers locked in. Do not miss out. And obviously we've got, what game is the first game? It's the West Ham game, isn't it? So we've got the Antonio show and the Bamford show at the same time. Then I've got Saka, Gundogan, Stones, Cancelo. And then no one in the... Chris Wood in the Burnley game at 6 o'clock. That's it. Nothing at half 7. And then triple Man United. And then Salah. That's it. That is it. Blink 182, Girl at the Rock Show. Exactly. And I fell in love with the girl at the Rock Show. The funny scenario of when your bench is too strong that it annoys you. It does a bit, yeah. Like if I had like non-playing bench and I had Chris Wood, I wouldn't be worried about looking to get rid of him, you know. Cresswell or Saka. I'd probably still play Saka, but I think Cresswell is a good option this week. Again, there's lots of people having to bench players that don't want to bench. This is why I hate, honestly, having such a good team. It's just like that extra decision you don't really want to make. Scared of Rashford being sub. I'd probably still play Rashford though, because if he starts, he's a really good option. I get it. If he comes off, it's annoying, 1 pointer possibly, but he might start. You don't remember that you have Wood in your team. Well, Wood was actually on my bench originally today, and then I swapped him in. Maybe I regret that. Souček's done nothing in the double game week. No doubt he'll do really well now. You're feeling really brave, Captain Bamford or Gundogan as a punt. Gundogan's numbers are so good and Newcastle are so bad. I just feel like Gundogan's got such massive upside, but we just don't know what's going to happen with De Bruyne out. I think probably Gundogan, midfielder, penalties. Bamford's got penalties too, though, hasn't he? It's Newcastle are so bad. I can't stress that enough. But so West Brom, I'm saying Gundogan. If you want to go massive punt, don't blame me when it all goes wrong, though. You know the drill. Okay, let's see if we've got anything different here. It's not Green Day, it's Blink 182. Justin or Souček, I'd definitely bench Justin. I wouldn't even have to think that much about it, to be honest. You're playing 5-4-1. It's a weird week, right? It's a weird week. Hope you enjoy it this time. Yeah, so I should stop singing. I keep forgetting people can't hear it. It's just me. Cancelo, yeah, already talked about Cancelo a bit. Again, against West Brom, it's probably not the worst time to captain a Man City defender, you know. But if West Brom got like a really dodgy goal last time, didn't they? If that happened again, I'm not saying it definitely will. It's just such a killer. But how are West Brom going to threaten Man City in any way? I just can't see it, you know. It's just absolutely mad. Like how good Man City are and how bad West Brom are. Nah, I'm sticking with Fernandes. I'm going boring. I'm sorry. I'm basically just trying to play the way I've been playing all season. Pick my captains in advance. Yes, things changed a little bit because of De Bruyne's injury, but Fernandes would have always been second choice anyway. I really wish De Bruyne was fit because I think a lot of people would have gone for Fernandes, and I do think that just. I do think that De Bruyne was just a much better captain, but it is what it is, right? Bring Zaha, great fixtures coming up. He's only just back though, isn't he? Let's see how he performs first. West Ham's okay, Wolves is okay, Newcastle, Leeds, Burnley, Brighton, Fulham is good. He has got a good fixture run coming up, but I'd maybe just wait and see after this week first. If you want to get ahead of the crowd though, why not? Pick 2, Souček and Chilwell. Sofala, Watkins. Your top 13k, very nice. Use my free transfer, Gundogan in for Rashford. Could do, yeah. There is a chance that Rashford starts, so that's all I'll say. There's obviously some risk with that kind of move because Rashford might start and it is a good fixture. If you want Gundogan long term, could be good. I think the thing with Man City is as soon as De Bruyne is back, he's probably going to be the one you want. I'd start Wilson over Wood. Zuma dropping price, I will lose 0.2 million if I transfer him out. The thing is, you're not losing 0.2 million. You're gaining that because unless you want him back, who cares about the money, right? Bamford in for Lacazette, I quite like that. Most of my mini league having both means -8. Next game with transfers in Kane and Son. I don't know about a -8, taking Lacazette out for Bamford. If it's a longer term move and you need the money for future transfers, maybe. But -8 is quite a lot. I see what you're saying. Zuma, if Zuma drops in price, you'll lose 0.2. Okay, I see what you mean. Again, though, it depends. You can't lose 0.2. You'll only lose 0.1. You can't lose 0.2 and 1 unless you think he's going to go down a lot. Like more than twice. If you've got good bench options, I'd probably not take the hit, to be honest. Don't forget, there's only 5 minutes until the deadline. So if there's any transfers you haven't made, any decisions you haven't made, or anything like that, go for it. I'm pretty locked in on this. I'm not completely happy about playing Chris Wood, but I don't want to play a defender over him. And Souček versus Chris Wood, I think, is quite close. I could play Martinez instead of De Gea, but I'm going to go with a double Man United defence and then get rid of it soon, I expect. Captain Antonio or Bamford? I think Bamford's playing the worst team out of the two, possibly Bamford. Quite like both as differential captains, though. I want Saka in, but who for? Maddison, Kane or Cresswell? Cresswell, if any of them, if you have to go for it. Finding strength to call and ask her. What a weird do. Thoughts on Kane? Don't like him this week. Playing Liverpool. Think you're better off waiting personally. I think if you've got Vardy and one transfer to make and you want Kane long term, then it'll be fine. But I wouldn't be taking the hits necessarily to bring in the likes of Kane personally. But that is just me. Don't forget, keep hitting that like button as well if you enjoy it. And subscribe. We do this every single deadline without fail. I think we've done 20 deadline streams now, haven't we, this season? I don't think we missed one yet. Bench one of Konza or Sofal. About you? Probably bench Konza against Burnley. Sofal. I don't know. That's so close. Possibly Konza. I don't think there's much in it. And one of Son, Salah, Grealish, Gundogan, DCL, come on. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. How can you bench any of those players? The fixtures, maybe Grealish. I just can't see a position where I would ever bench Salah or Son. I think Gundogan's got West Brom, Bamford's got Newcastle, Antonio's got Palace, maybe DCL. I would say Calvert-Lewin or Grealish. If you push me, I'd say Grealish, but I don't like it at all. I don't like it at all. Listen to all this slander as a Newcastle fan. Look, I am very... I think I'm quite fair most of the time in my opinion on teams. I'm not, hugely biased either way. People think I am with Arsenal, but Arsenal were just poor earlier in the season, and now Newcastle are really bad. It's got to be him, Watkins or Calvert-Lewin, Game Week 21. Probably Calvert-Lewin, but let's wait till Game Week 21. Today, not sure if I'll get paid. I should really stop singing. Sorry. Kind of forget you're live sometimes. 2-minute warning, says Adam. Only 2 minutes to the deadline. Make sure. I've said it a million times. In fact, I need to just triple check. Go back to me points. There we go. Souček on the bench, playing Chris Wood. It's dirty, isn't it? It feels dirty. I'm playing Saka as well. I feel like this is a week where I've just got to get through it without losing too much rank. Who have I got? Who have I not got? I mean, Spurs players, obviously, but they're playing Liverpool, so hopefully they can keep the score down. Man City players outside of Gundogan are not really well owned anyway. So I don't think I can be massively hurt. Villa players, I guess. Grealish, Watkins, Villa defence. I just have to hope David De Gea can beat him. Always fair, always on the fence. Yeah, but sometimes decisions are just difficult. I'd rather give an all round thing to think about than just say, yeah, just do this. Use this. I don't hate Arsenal. I love that they're in the bottom half of the table. Sky team. I'm not playing Sky, so at least I don't have to worry about that. It's literally 1 minute now until the deadline. Make sure you do not miss. Again, don't forget your transfers. Fall asleep, yeah. Thinking about Captain Cancelo over Fernandes, crazy. Again, it's not crazy. It's not crazy, but what I would say is, if you're suddenly completely changing your mind on a captain with 1 minute to the deadline, you probably haven't given that captain enough thought. I'm not saying people are crazy for going Cancelo over Fernandes. It's not what I would do, obviously, but as you can see, because otherwise I would be doing it. But I don't think you should be making massive changes like that with a minute to go, but obviously it's up to you. Cancelo in, he's got the armband. Massive. Good luck. Anyone that's captured a City defender, I wish you the best. I hope they do well. Why is everyone captain Bruno? I do think there's probably something in Fernandes not being quite as good an option right now, but it just looks too good to be true, against Sheffield United. My chat has been all over the place, by the way. I think I've been a bit behind because it was going mad earlier. Go and sing us some more Blink-182. My fantasy move was De Bruyne to Sterling. I captained him, I think. We are locked in. That is it. Game week 20 is gone. Somehow I'm playing Chris Wood and Saka, and benching Souček, Southall, Holding and Martinez, which could be bad. But hopefully game week 21 will be better for me. I'm definitely bringing in a Spurs player, I think, next week. I could bring in Grealish and Son, Grealish and Kane, but it's something to think about next week. My team name is On the Back Werner, which I don't even know why I thought of that. I don't even think it's that good, but I'm just too lazy to change it. Look, Souček could definitely beat Chris Wood. I'm not saying he can't. I copied your whole team. Honestly, if you copied this team, you're crazy, because if I was wildcarded now, my team would not look like this. I would have at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, possibly 6 or 7 changes, I think, if I wildcarded right now. That's not to say that I think the team is bad, but it's not the team I would... if you wildcard in 18, it's different to wildcarding in 19. It's different to wildcarding in 20, for sure. Can you put Blink-182 on stream music? I can, but the stream will just be locked down and probably copyright struck, so I won't do it. Wouldn't even be a bad bench boost team. Exactly, yeah, I could have bench boosted this week. But to be honest, I got 26 last week, so I'm pretty happy with that. I don't hate Southall at all. That's why I have him in my team. Not in my squad, I should say. When do we know Game Week 26 double fixtures? Probably by Game Week 24. Even then, they might not be announced, but we'll know who they're going to be, hopefully. Yeah, there we go. I think that is it. We're locked in. When am I going to be back? I'm probably going to be back on maybe tomorrow. I don't know about tomorrow. I might just have a rest until a rest, as if I'm doing anything strenuous. Yeah, I might take a break till Thursday. I'm not sure, but a team selection will be on Friday. Deadline stream on Saturday. Captaincy on Friday evening, probably. Maybe a game week preview on Thursday. We'll see. I want to get most of the matches gone, so most of the Wednesday and Thursday. Tuesday and Wednesday fixtures over. before we do too much else. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Please do give the video a like if you've enjoyed it, and definitely hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Plenty more content to come for the rest of the season. We are now over the halfway stage, by the way, but loads more stuff to come. So thanks for watching. Good luck in game week 20. Come on, Fernandez. Come on, Gundogan. We'll find out how good Gundogan is in about 10 o'clock, about 5.5 hours once the game's finished. Let's hope he starts. I still think Foden is going to be good, but yeah, it's just after this game I'll worry about. But yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you again soon. Thanks for all the questions, all the super chats, everything, all the likes, all the subscriptions, all the comments, and all that good stuff. I will see you soon. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the games tonight.